I know today the mission is a little bit tough because this kind of issue is not easy. I admit because I started to learn ACCP when I was a teacher here, but my background is food science and food pathogen. That is okay for me, but I need to tell you, as a major of economics or marketing of you, that is not easy to learn. But I try to explain it as I can. And okay, today please select one of the three following topics. Just get one is okay. The food safety regulations in your country for restaurant or for food processing plants or company. Information about how to prevent foodborne illness from government, from the organization, or from companies. Because you can find tons of information. Why? It has business. It is a big money. Because their expertise in food safety, they can help companies, especially food industry, to prevent bad things happen. And the third topic is HACCP, HACCP information in your country. Please tell me in few sentences what is HACCP. What is HACCP? And I know you can copy and paste tons of words to explain what HACCP is, but I don't like that. I want you explain that in your way. Okay, please start to copy and paste your information here. Later I will explain it. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, before I will start, just a reminder about I'm hesitant and whether only week 17 students come to present, or we need one more week because I'm asking many IHP office about the last week, because the week January 13 is the voting day, vote lawmakers and president in Taiwan. And according to the policy from the Ministry of Education, we need to respect the voting rights for every student. So I plan to have online course here, week 18, the last week. And our presentation is about only week 17. And week 16 is the holiday, the New Year's Day. Okay, so I will tell you how to do this. Okay, before I start, let me have a short demonstration. How did I do when I was a PhD student here? Okay, does anyone use this website, SlideShare? If you want to collect information, I encourage you to search information here. Why? Because when you use search engine, the results can be tons of messy results. But when you search slides, it has many meanings. For example, a very thin glass for microscope, we call it slides. A presentation file, one page by page, we call it slide. And here is the kind of meaning. And slide can be a lot of meaning. Okay, and when we find information, for example, business model of business model of solar cell. Solar cell is a confusing word in Taiwan. Why? Solar cell is actually in Taiwan we call it sun battery. We call it sun battery, but in English it's called a solar cell. It's different. Business model of solar cell. You can get some useful slides to introduce this topic. to introduce topic about the first solar case study and then number one. Solar power, maybe in Chinese, like this. For example, you can type heads up. And you will find a lot of, here is the result, about 9,000 results here. About heads up. You can guide, actually I prefer this kind of website because the slides, it means the authors organized and sorting some information and prepare that in a file, we call it slide, and it's easier to find systematic information, not data, it's systematic information. Okay, and we can find here. Not mine. Oops. Okay, here is me. Enococcus is lactic acid bacteria. That is the main bacteria I used in my PhD research. I'm imitating many years ago when I was a PhD student in my oral defense. It's me here. Only one? Oh, sorry. Oh, there are 29 slides here. I will demonstrate, maybe just 1 minute is okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to be here to show my PhD research in the past few years. And my research topic is about antimicrobial activity against the wine spoilage bacteria and foodborne pathogens. Everybody knows the pathogen caused a lot of damage, and we want to find a solution, different solution, except, for example, the antibiotics can be used to kill pathogens, but foodborne pathogens is not so easy to kill. We need to emphasize different tools and different concepts. Let's go to the slide first slide. About my research, I have 3 parts. The first part is about wine spoilage bacteria controlled by Enococcus EMI. The second part is about foodborne pathogen inhibition by Enococcus. And the third part about the phage. Phage is a kind of virus. Virus, they is hosting, they is on human, it's called a human virus. The virus on plant is called the plant virus. The virus on bacteria is called a phage. Oh, sorry. Okay, then we all know that biological control can be an effective way, a cheaper way, because they can find a natural enemy from the nature. And remember, when you speak, always put your focus on the slide. You need to scan on your committee members or your audience here. And about this one, about that. And that is the process making wine from the grape to crush it in the fermenting tank and storage it in finally bottle it to sell it. Okay. It's advertisement. Okay. And let's check the table. It's about the result, about this one, that one. Okay. So remember, you don't need in my class, you just need to present 5 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 slides is okay. For IHP students, you use English. For non-IHP students, you can select the language as you want, but I have no guarantee I can understand what you say. If students from other program, you choose the language you want to present, okay? But I cannot guarantee that. For example, Japanese students, you will come here to learn Chinese, you can use Chinese. You can use Japanese, but I don't know how to explain. I also don't know Japanese, okay? And in the end, any questions? Can you tell me the column number 2, why yeast can be inhibited by that kind of compound? Then you try to explain it. If you don't know, just say, oh, well, it's a good question. Actually, I followed the citation and got the results here, but I don't know why it can be inhibited or it cannot be inhibited. Okay? Okay. And try to learn this kind of skills. And I use a machine offered by Dr. Warrable. He is from Canada, and he used this machine can do a lot of inhibition work in one time. And the inococcus different strains can be cultivated in a small test tube with the MLB, the spatial medium prepared. The formula is prepared by my advisor, Dr. Hennecklin. And after that, pour the indicator. Indicator means different target of pathogens here. Then cultivate 2 to 7 days to observe the clear zone. When clear zone comes around the spot, it means the inococcus are able to inhibit the bacteria. See, it's not very clear, and this is the result. Okay, and try to control your time in 5 minutes. Then in the end, you can say, okay, thank you everyone. Any questions? Then you will receive maybe a lot of applause. Okay, I have a question. How can you do that? Or one day I still remember a scholar from Korea. She explained what she did in the past years. And a professor, Dr. Rao from India, he asked the question, how do you prove the effect, the kill cancer cell effect is from the reagent, not from the background side effect? And the scholar, she did not explain very well because she forgot to do a control. That is a lethal point. That is when conduct scientific experiments, especially biological science, you need to do control. In the future, I will tell you there are 2 types of control. The first one is positive control. The second one is negative control. Positive control, it means no matter what you have done, the positive control should be positive in the end of your result. But what is negative control? No matter what you have done in the past, in the experiment, in the process, that result should be negative. So there are 2 kinds of controls. First one is positive control. The second one is negative control. It's very important for bioscience. But it's okay. You just learn about this concept. It's enough. Okay. And next time I will tell you how to show the slides. For example, this table we have. I did 25 strains versus 25 strains to find possible virus inside. And the table is very not easy to recognize what is the point. Thus, I put the colorful arrows here. And the committee members or the readers can catch it very quickly. So it's also a kind of training. I have no idea about what in the past you learned about how to present. But in my class, I try to ask you to do something like this. And next semester, I will teach a course called academic writing. And I will show you how to write basically and how to present and make readable, understandable slides. Okay? Okay, let's go back to our course. Okay, let me check how many. Okay, not too many people here. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's come back to. Okay, let's resume here. The HACCP approach, and HACCP goes beyond inspecting finished product. Remember, it's different concept. It's not focusing on checking, on inspecting the finished product. It helps to find, correct, and prevent hazard through the product process. It prevents the bad things happen. Not only check the product. For example, if I have a water bottle, and in the end I found, okay, the defects, this one is not a qualified product, I need to throw it away. I need to throw it away. But maybe maybe the bad ratio is 10% or 50%. Maybe it can cause the better design. Thus, the plastic industry need to redesign the process to reduce the bad ratio. A similar concept in food science. HACCP try to control important steps, not all steps, not every steps. It try to control important steps. What steps are important? We don't know. We need to analyze it. So there are several steps. There are 7 universal accepted principles. The first one, hazard analysis. A plan is laid out to identify all possible food safety hazards could cause a product to unsafe to consumption. And the measure can be taken to control those hazards. For example, the cooking step is a process. One of the identified hazards, the survival of pathogen due to inadequate cooking time or temperature. So pathogen generally is the top one risk for food product. And the easy way is cooking to raise the temperature to high enough to kill the pathogens. And principle 2, identify critical control point. Critical, this term, it means very crucial, very critical, very important. You cannot say every steps is important. No. Okay. Critical control point are the points in the product process where an action can be taken. When you take the action, you can prevent, to eliminate, or to reduce a food safety hazard to an acceptable level. Okay, this kind of concept is not easy for Taiwanese, but I have no idea about international students. And because in Taiwan the education is very not enough about this field, so I want to explain. The step when the action is taken, it can prevent, eliminate, or reduce a food safety hazard to an acceptable level. Not completely remove it to just to a acceptable level. For example, the cooking step is considered a critical control point because control measures are necessary to deal with the hazard of pathogens surviving the cooking process. That is one thing. Besides the pathogen, the other one is called spoilage bacteria, spoilage microorganisms, they may spoilage your product. Okay, principle 3, establishing critical limits for each control point. A critical limit is the limit which hazard is acceptable without compromising food safety. Compromising is a special term. Okay. For example, critical limits is the cooking stage, includes specific time and temperature for cooking the product. Okay. For example, our IHP director, Dr. Yuda Chen said the basic requirement of our student to pass the course is attendance at least 2/3. That is the policy. You can think that is a critical limit. We are teachers. We teach for IHP. We need to follow the rules. Okay, it's very similar situation. Principle number 4, establishing monitoring procedures for critical control points. Highly detailed monitoring activities are essential to make sure the processing continues to operate safely and within the critical limits. Each critical point, for example, the monitoring procedure at cooking critical control point, including taking intentional temperature of the product with a spatial thermometer. About this part, I know it's not easy to understand. Right? Let me tell you, there is a website called foodsafety.gov. I like this website. This website is created by USDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and foodsafety.gov has a lot of information here. For example, there is a term, safe cooking temperature. Cook to a set minimum internal temperature. What is internal? It means inside the food. When we cook a turkey, we need to check the internal temperature, not only the surface temperature. Okay, let me show you here. Okay, let me show you this. I copy the link to our group. I just pasted this website to our course group. And there are different types of foods. For example, beef, bison, veal, goat, and lamb. And the minimum safety cooking temperature is 63 degrees Celsius. But when you go to US, you need to remember the temperature in Fahrenheit. So it's 155 degrees Fahrenheit. It equals 63 degrees Celsius. And ground meat and sausage is 71 degrees Celsius. Meat and meatless is 74. Okay, let me go through it quickly. 74, 71, eggs 71, 74. Ham 63, 64, 74. Leftovers. If you did not finish the meal in time, you need to finish it very quickly. Reheat it to 74. Pork 63. 71, 71. Thus, in average, the safety temperature for this kind of cooking is about 64. But when you order a steak, it's not good to overheat it. For example, maybe 60 a steak here, beef. For the best delicious cooking, maybe 63 is okay. 63 degrees Celsius is okay for the delicious condition. But it said the rest time is 3 minutes. Okay, let's go back here. Sorry, not here. Okay. Again, thus the principle number 4 is establishing a monitoring procedure for critical control point. Here is an example about heating to kill bacteria, but different control measures. For example, to control the water activity, to control the acidity, the lower the pH, the less survive of bacteria. Well, for example, I remember previously I told you need to memorize those pH 4.6. 4.6. When the food the pH over 4.6, many bacteria can grow. But when the pH lower than 4.6, less bacteria can grow. Another important index is 4.4. Because 4.4 is for listeria. In the US, the UFDA regulates a lot of ready-to-eat foods. For example, the salad or drink. If the pH is higher than 4.4, you need to check the listeria. Listeria is really harmful. And principle number 5, establishing corrective actions. Actions must be taken to bring the product process back to track if the monitor indicates the deviation from critical limits has occurred. For example, I need to check the temperature is to reach. For example, here, I'm frying the steaks. And the target temperature is 63 degrees Celsius. But my temperature tells me it's only 60, not 63. Thus, we need to take action. What action? Corrective action. In food production, correcting problems before end stage product is far more effective than waiting until a product is finished to test it. Again, during the process, in the middle process, to check it, if something goes wrong, please correct it. For example, if the required internal temperature has not been reached, corrective action will be required. The product can be cooked further. If the cooking temperature cannot be reached, another corrective action will be called the product to be held and destroyed. There are many cases when the product cannot reach the target temperature or target control system. For example, when preparing the milk, and the temperature is not reaching the setting, the milk could be cooked again, quicker again. But the cooking milk is different system. It is heating under the pipe. It's completely different. And one more thing. If I use some preservatives, how can we do this? When you check many, I have no idea why. Many soft drink in the US, many soda has preservatives, but in Taiwan, I never see any product of soda of the soft drink has preservatives. I don't know why. I don't know why. Because preservatives is okay. Personally, I think it's okay. It's safe. But in Taiwan, it is blamed that it's better thing. I don't know why. Maybe different culture. And if the preservatives is not to the critical amount, the product should be destroyed. No, you just need to add more preservatives. It's okay. Let me show you here. For example, this kind of dew, Mountain Dew, that is very popular in the US. You can see the label here. Oh, not. Sorry, it's not so. Contains phenylalanine. That is aspartame, the one of the amino acids in the aspartame. And where is the preservatives? Oh, sorry, the words are too fuzzy. Oh, again, when you go to the US, you can see the many soft drink, many soda. The ingredients has at least one preservatives. I don't know why. But in Taiwan, you can check the food label. I never see any fruit preservatives in the soda. Let's go back here. And the principle number 6, establishing verification procedures. Okay, and before I start, let me check it. Okay, today no one want to share their ideas. That's okay. Let me finish it. Sorry. Okay. Before continue, I have a question. What is verification? What is this term? Because there are several terms in HACCP system that are really difficult to learn. Verification, in Taiwanese, the Taiwanese accent is verification. In US accent is verification. Verification means to apply some activities, tests, sampling, and other evaluations in addition to monitoring. Besides monitoring, you need to take methods, procedures, tests, sampling, and extra to determine whether a control measure at control point has been operated as intended. Verification activities also ensure that monitoring and the activity actions are done according to a company's written HACCP program. For example, testing and calibrating thermometers. If you want to do the calibration of thermometer, you can ask me. I can share my experiences how to calibrate the thermometer in the lab. It's a verification procedure that is important to ensure the accurate readings. The easiest way to test the thermometer accuracy is submerging the probe into a pot of boiling water. If it doesn't read 100 degrees Celsius, is equal to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, then the thermometer must be adjusted to read the correct temperatures. And here I need to remind one thing. According to the altitude, the higher when we hiking to a high mountain, the altitude is increased, and the temperature, the boiling point is decreased. For example, previously, about the end of September, my family, we went Ali-San, Mountain Ali. I did an experiment about boil the temperature. Let me show you. 1 minute, please. Let me find the sound. Okay. Okay, take a look of this video about the past September 29th. It was boiling. Okay, let me show you the. Okay. So the boiling point is on the high mountain. It was 93 degrees. So just a reminder, in the future, if you consider the boiling point, you want to calibrate your thermometer. Under this situation, it's impossible to get 100 degrees. So, okay, guess what's the temperature in this classroom? Is the boiling point. I checked, I calculated about the biology lab S floor. The S floor of this building, it should be 99.7. It's not 100 degrees Celsius. It's 99.7. when in Ali-san, it was 93, 92. Okay, remember, when you check the thermometer, you need to consider the altitude. And the altitude was about 2,200 meters high. About 2,200 meters high. And if you want to know let me check it. The altitude, I suggest you can install an app by the GPS. That is much accurate than the other meters. Because the GPS is very useful. You can install the app on your cell phone. Okay, let's come back here. Again, verification is very complicated. Believe me, it's very complicated. And one way to verify your thermometer, to verify your system is working, one way is to verify the thermometer. And there there term called validation, V-A-L-I-D-A-T-I-O-N. Validation is another complicated issue. I will tell you maybe in the future. Okay, and the principle number 7. The company must keep records to demonstrate the effective application of the critical control point and assist with official verification. Records must be established to document the monitoring and verification results, as well as all information and actions taken in response to any deviations. Okay, deviations, this term is interesting. You will learn this from the statistics, but deviations, sorry, I don't know how to explain in English, but generally it means you expect to observe a certain value, but the temperature of the cooking process or the value you observed may far away from your expectation, and we call it deviations. And deviation found through monitoring and verification. For example, the employee responsible for monitoring a cooking critical control point completes a cooking log sheet. These sheets include the date, the start and the finish time, the temperature, and the employee's signature. If a deviation has occurred in the production process, the responsible employee records the details in a deviation logbook. Okay. Oh, I just have brief introduction to the heads up. Actually, when you implement the system, it will be very complicated. So, okay, any questions? The time is up. And okay, maybe next time someone can share information here. Okay, let's take a break, then see you next week. Thank you, everybody.